Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how to buttons tonight. Welcome back to A Drink with Crazy. What's going on, everybody? Oh, good Lord. Oh, man, we have a lot to talk about. I turned the lights down, by the way. People have said I turned them down just a little bit. People have been telling me I'm a little bright lately. I'm whiter than white. Been trying to balance that out. As always, I would love to start the night off. Man, there's just a lot of it. Man, the videos that have been getting sent to me and then some of the other ones that I've been seeing. Probably not good for my mental health. Also, my voice is definitely already going out. I'm doing training at work and I have to do like 7 hours of like OSHA yearly stuff. And so my voice is just a little bit gone right now. I'm going to go for as long as I can. But ladies and gentlemen, let's start the night off. Thank you everybody for joining. Mario Trujillo, Jane Schultz, Wrangler in the chat already. You guys are fantastic. If you guys are out there and you're lurking, just say hello. Also, if you guys want to give this a share on social media, YouTube loves it when you do that. I also love it when you do that. But as always, let's start the night off with a prayer. So if you have anybody in your hearts and in your thoughts that you want to keep a prayer, keep those people in mind right now, and let's get to it. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Amen. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Amen. All right. Why? Oh, no, I shouldn't read the chat. Seriously, hey, God bless Mario Trujillo. Dude, I love that you guys coming in. You know, I will say this. I actually really enjoy even just watching live streams where the chat is just willing to have fun with the host and just absolutely razz him. I was watching the Habitual Line Crosser stream from Friday. Oh, man. His chat just goes in on him, and it's so fun. I love it. It's so fun. Videos at work too. One of them was our respects people feeling and pronouns. Barf. Yeah, so I don't do that. We obviously have to follow certain rules. My company doesn't do all that stuff. No, I don't do videos. I do absolutely no videos. It's all it's presentations, and it's highly hyphenated by me, by actually engaging, talking with my guys, sharing stories, things like that, and doing my best to engage, throwing some jokes out there. And I don't just sit there and be like, here's the next video. No, when I say that I'm doing like the presentation, I am actually physically there as the manager, as the safety manager, making sure that I interact, engage with my guys, answer questions if they have them, let them share a story about an incident or an instance that they've had. I absolutely believe that nobody is going to get any value out of a video. I hate videos. I hated watching them when I was a guy having to watch the safety videos. So I said, no. Royce be like, here's how you don't die. In a lot of instances, yeah, that's kind of, and I also share stories that I've heard over the years of just serious stuff. And I'm like, look, like it matters. It fucking matters. You know, I want you guys I want you guys to be, and I even put stuff in my presentations that I'm like, here's stuff that you can use at home too. Right. And the way that I straight up with my guys, I'm like, I'm going to be honest with you. If you guys do something stupid at home and it gets you hurt, or even, God forbid, even worse at home because you're not following safety procedures at home, you're less valuable here at work. And everybody shows up to work and says, we're here to make money. Well, if you do something at home that gets you hurt and you're less valuable at work, you're not making as much money as you could, right? And that's how I explain it to people. And they're like, huh, that makes sense. You know? So yeah, I do not believe in sitting somebody down and making them watch a video that's completely preposterous. No, I'm there, I'm active, I'm engaged, I talk with my guys, I get the sense of how they are. I am definitely not politically correct, which is fine. And a lot of my guys appreciate that. So it's I made that very apparent when they first met me. They're like, you're the safety guy. You shouldn't say that. And I was like, why not? They're like, well, you're the safety guy. I'm like, exactly. I'm the safety guy. I'm not HR. I don't give a fuck. And that's exactly what I've said. And here's the thing. For me to, my HR person follows like, you know, if somebody reports you, yeah, but also like, and she'll have those talks, but also we live in a specific area and she very much knows the layout of the land. She is fantastic. Love her to death. But yeah, reckless redneck is a real thing. Yeah, it is. Or redneckitude. Interesting. I've seen clips from Veilguard about, I assume that's the whole training videos are like, nowadays probably, yeah. Nowadays probably, yeah. And like, as far as, yeah. Luckily everybody at the warehouse laughs and makes fun of those, Fifi videos, including the boss. Yeah, and most people do. And you, as you should. Now, again, there is a point at which you can't, just like if somebody's offended over just everything, but there is a point at which it's like, okay, kind of read the room, right? Recognize if a guy is having a bad day and maybe razzing him a little too much, just not a good idea. Not because he can't take it, but maybe something happened. Maybe a family member just shit like that is where like, hey, read the room a little better. You know, I've even made some jokes to guys who were just having a rough day and I go up and I'm like, hey man, I just noticed you were having a rough day. Apologize if I was, you know, razzing you a little much. Like, nah, dude, you're fine. I'm like, okay, cool. I just want you to know, like, I didn't read the room properly. I didn't recognize that you were having a rough day. Shit like that, I think, is acceptable, right? But this whole like, oh, big May Prudent, just fuck off with that shit. I'm so fucking sick of it. But anyway, man, I've got a ton of videos tonight. For you guys, and am suddenly quite thankful I work at a small computer store. I work for a small company as well. I don't work for a corporate. I don't work for somebody corporate, which is why, yeah. Did you not watch King of the Hill? I did. I watched, yeah, I love King of the Hill. The original seasons. I haven't seen the new ones yet. Andrew Rowland, I have a supervisor who acts all cartoony when he asks you something, and it's impossible to tell if he's being serious or if he's, oh, dude, that would drive me nuts. That would absolutely drive me nuts. No, I'm not like that at all. Not like that in any way. I'm blatantly honest with the guys, too. I flat out will look at the guys in safety training and be like, look, I know you guys are here and you're going to forget half of what I tell you today. And you guys are here specifically because we just have to do this every day. I get it. I understand. Like, but for those of you who actually hear what I'm saying, thank you. I'm straight up honest with them. You know how I know? Because I've been there. I've done that. And I honestly, I think that's why I get as much respect from the amount of people that I do. All right? I don't get respect from everybody. But I do get respect from more people than I initially thought I was going to stepping into this role. And it's because I don't treat it like I've not been there. I've been a field guy. I've been out. I've worked in the shit. I know what it's fucking like. And you know what? And I talk with those guys and they're like, oh shit. So yeah. But also now I'm the guy because I don't just sit them down in front. Turn the light off. Oh my goodness. It got bright in here. But shh, little one. Work is for work, not playtime. Absolutely. Absolutely. But again, it's just, yeah. But moving on, we've got a lot to cover tonight. I wanted to start the night off with somewhat of a fun video. At least I think it's going to be fun. I have no idea. It's a Young Yeah video, so it's less going to be fun because it's Young Yeah, and it's more going to be fun just because we're going to talk about Highguard, because Highguard launched today, and we're going to see how that's going. Royce is not cartoony. He's an anime boy who is in the dad stage of his life. Yeah. I did a community barbecue, not this last summer, the summer before, and people came over, and the amount of people, it was so funny. I heard from 3 or 4 different individuals who came in. We only had like 10 or 12 people who were like, man, I thought that when the camera was turned on, you were like, you were different, right? You just have this expectation that, and they're like, no, that is legitimately just how you are. That is wild. I'm like, am I supposed to act any different? They're like, no, it's totally fine. You think people are different. And I'm like, I was almost insulted, but I also kind of understand. It's like, no, guys, when I tell people I tone it down for YouTube, I mean, I tone it down for YouTube. Some of the shit that I say at work would get me kicked off of YouTube. Do you know why? Because there are guys that I work with that take it that far, and I just joke with them because they're real fucking people. So, yeah, we can see you now. Wow, you're as white as a claw. Oh, God, I'm an anime boy who's in dad's stage of his life. Yeah. Oh, goodness. So what do you say we get into it? Let's see exactly how bad Highguard is doing today. I really hope the video doesn't play when it's going to play.
So Highguard has been...
Yeah, so it's obviously going to play. All right, let's get into this. I just want to laugh at this because we're getting into some serious topics about the world after this one. So enjoy the beginning of the stream. Ladies and gentlemen, Yong Ya with Highguard. And apparently Highguard is not doing well on its first day.
Been out for a few hours now. People have been waiting with bated breath to see how this game would perform, given the unusual circumstance.
Okay, so it's been out for a few hours. Funny enough, if you go to the Steam reviews, it's like people played it for 30 minutes. Trash tier game. And I'm like, okay. Like, I was hoping that people would put more time in than 30 minutes to see if the game was bad. So I kind of discount a lot of... I mean, if you've only played a game for 30 minutes, I'm not saying that's not enough to make up your mind, but also, really?
Surrounding it. The fact that it was announced at the Game Awards as the big finale, only for that to be like a huge...
It should not have been the finale at the Game Awards. That puts way too much. That puts way too many expectations on this game, especially when it's just a knockoff version of other games out there.
Marketing mistake, because we're talking about a brand new IP from a brand new studio tackling something that is hero shooter-esque, and for that to be the big finale kind of turned a lot of people off. And then the game kind of just went radio silent for the duration of its marketing campaign, except for like 3 days prior to its launch. That's when we start to see some activity. And today, the game...
Which is not... I don't know. Probably good that they didn't engage. Oh, hey, look, their follower count went up. Oh, good for them. Their follower count went up, not by much. But yeah, I don't know at this point.
Has finally launched, and we're starting to see finally a lot of activity on social media, trying to explain the game, what it is. There's this video right here titled Highguard Official Launch Showcase that kind of walks you through the entire gameplay loop of this game. And it is essentially described as a PvP raid shooter, taking inspiration from survival games and the way you like raid other people's bases, but in like a fast-paced first-person shooter format. That also has aspects of like Overwatch. You know, it has hero shooter elements. It's got some elements of like Battle Royale in the way there's like item pickups and equipment pickups to upgrade your character. It's also got aspects of like Rainbow Six Siege with that attacker-defender gameplay loop. There's definitely some inspiration taken from like the MOBA genre and titles.
Okay, so I mean, okay, so here's where I'm at. It doesn't sound like any of those ideas are necessarily bad together, but this is all going to depend on execution. Right? It's like, it's not like a bad idea, but also how was your execution? And I'm sorry, this just looks not good. These graphics I don't know.
Like Counter-Strike and Valorant.
I mean, and I'm not a graphics guy, but there's some texturing here that just looks off.
You know, the way you have to like plant and defuse bombs as one of the methods to take down enemy bases. And, you know, you can tell where all of its individual components were taken from, but it's all combined in a way that tries to aim for a different kind of gameplay loop and gameplay experience. And we're here to analyze in this video how it's all been going so far. Now, do note that the game's only been out for a couple hours, and so the real test will be over the course of like a week or a month even. That's when we can get like a really full picture. But I will say that within the first few hours of the game's launch, it's been a little rough. Now, on one hand, when it comes to like peak concurrent players on Steam, it's not doing so bad. Clearly, this game garnered a lot of attention.
Okay, I'm sorry. I knew that day one this game was going to have a decent peak current player count. So basically every yeah, pretty much. Oh, you're not wrong, Jonathan Grant. But no, so I knew this game was going to get a higher concurrent player count on day one. Reason being is because of morbid curiosity. I even thought of downloading it and playing it myself, but I was like, do I really want to dedicate any hard drive space to this? Because I thought about it last night. I was like, should I get it ready and prep it and have it ready to go when it launches and download it? And I was like, no, because I'm waiting to see. I was like, you know what? If I see good, here's the thing. I thought to myself, if I see good things, I'll download it, try it, give it a shot. If I see not good things, I'm gonna check out what the not good things are. I'm not the type of person that like I'm just gonna see what people are saying about it. So
especially due to the unusual circumstances surrounding it and the fact that people were covering that unusual circumstance, covering the fact that the game has gone radio silent, covering the fact that it was a mistake to announce it at the Game Awards as like the big finale of that showcase. And so enough eyes were on this game where the curiosity has certainly struck a chord. And so people are at the very least checking the game out, with the all-time peak concurrent player numbers right now sitting at, almost 100,000 players, 97,249 players. So at the very least, you can say that Highguard is by no means Concord 2. Concord was just such a disaster when it comes to...
But here's the thing, is people knew that Concord was going to be bad right off the rip, probably because of the amount of marketing they put behind that game. Right. And from what I've heard from people who actually played it, they're like, no, the gunplay was fine. All that, they're like mechanically, they're like, it was sound. And they're like, the visuals, they dumped a lot of money into the visuals. They're like, but the game was just uninteresting. Right. And people knew that the game was uninteresting from the freaking start. Nobody knew what Highguard was going to be because we got the one trailer. They went radio silent, so it's definitely going to help their day one numbers. Unless they pull, people used to say, you got to pull the rabbit out of the hat, right? And be like, oh, how are they going to pull the rabbit out of the hat? I used to tell my buddy all the time, I was like, what would be more interesting? To see somebody pull a hat out of a rabbit's ass. So unless they pull that hat out of the rabbit's ass, I don't know how this game is going to survive. And you say, why would you say it like that? Because that's a real magic trick.
How few people played it. Like, we're talking about a game that launched to roughly 2,500 players as the all-time peak concurrent player number on Steam. Whereas with Highguard, at the very least, people are curious enough that we're seeing decent numbers at launch. And it helps that Highguard
of course, because of morbid curiosity. But the question is this going to deliver?
Actually a free-to-play game, whereas Concord was a game you had to pay for. But even when Concord was in its free-to-play beta, the numbers were so minuscule that there was literally zero chance for that game to garner any.
Yeah, Concord was an example of the marketing working against it. It just 100%. 100%. That's what it was.
Sort of mass interest that would allow it to make a comeback. Whereas with Highguard, at least there are enough eyes on it, and we are seeing some buzz on social media. Now, not all of the buzz right now is entirely positive, and just because a game starts with decent peak concurrent player numbers doesn't mean that, especially for a free-to-play live service like Highguard, it'll be maintained over the long term.
No,
recall that Multiversus peaked at over 150,000 players, and it did fairly well at launch. But then, as people engaged with the game and realized there's not much else to it, it eventually dipped and died off. And so, we can't rule out that possibility for Highguard. Again, I think a better picture will present itself once we wait a week to a month to
Sorry,
really.
My daughter is over here dying laughing at something. Child, I'm trying to live stream. You're ruining the stream.
Sorry.
You're ruining it. It's all over now.
Hey.
I can't do this anymore.
Still going. It's still going.
Shh.
Chat, tell him it's still going.
Don't talk to my chat. No, you're too young to talk to chat. No.
Tell him it's still going.
No. Don't tell the chat what to do. Chat, don't listen to her. She's 13. Stop it. Go.
I thought it was 14.
Go back to your thing.
Age where the game's at after some time has passed, after that initial glow you get from playing a new game kind of passes, whether there's a game that keeps bringing people back, over the course of, like a long-term time period. But in terms of initial reception, the fact that the game has opened to overwhelmingly negative reviews is not particularly confidence-inspiring. 17% from just a little under 1,900 reviews. And, some of that does come from the fact that Highguard's optics were so negative due to the way it was marketed at the Game Awards as the big...
Well, and again, people are like, they play it for 30 minutes. They're like, game's trash. I'm like, you can go to Steam right now and look up those metrics. Might pull those up here in a second. But a lot of, I'm like, okay, how long did you play? Did you play for if somebody played for 4 or 5 hours and like this, you're free to play like live service, I'm like, all right. I think the highest I saw was like 3.5 hours. I saw a couple people who had fairly positive things to say 2.5 hours in. Most of the negatives were under an hour's worth of play.
Finale, but
That's
even
what I
people who've
saw.
like checked this game out and given it enough of a chance and tried out a match or two are not fully in love with what they've played so far. So, for example, one of the big criticisms...
See, look at that. 0.8 hours on record. 1 hour on record.
Is that 3v3 does not feel...
This guy over here, 1.6 hours on record. Like, again, another 0.8 hours on record. I like, again... you gotta wonder, dude, did they really give it a shot? And I'm not even defending it. This is not my type of game. If I heard positive things about it, I would have played it. This is not my type of game. I just really wanted to see after that it's so awesome at the Game Awards being the last game right before the game of the year. I'm like, all right, I want to see how this train ends. Does it make it to the station or does it crash before? It's looking like it looks like this train's not going to make it to the station, people. It's just not going to do it.
Right for the format of this game due to the fact that the maps are so big in Highguard to the point where 3v3 just feels too sparse. It feels like you don't encounter players as often.
I
With
read
this
that
reviewer
review.
believing that the size would fit better for 5v5 or 6v6. The guns feel nice to shoot, but feel uninspired. Audio is weird because people sound like they're above you when they're actually in front of you, and vice versa.
Ooh, that's not
the game
good.
needs serious work in order to be what it was hyped up to be. And people are saying similar things where not all of the thought...
Jeff Keighley's foot is in his mouth right now. He'll never admit it, though. He'll never admit it. Jeff Keighley will never admit that. Are you
Considerations surrounding the
kidding me?
game
Come on.
design feel appropriate. And then people are also highlighting a lot of technical issues with people either having to wait a long time to enter matches due to long queues. And when they do enter matches, they're reporting a lot of bugs and issues and getting kicked out. And
I mean, honestly, that sounds like server instability to me. If you're waiting for queues, you're waiting for matches, all that with 100,000 players, and you're having all this stuff, that sounds like server instability. It sounds like they built this game for they wanted this game to get this many people on day one, didn't have the infrastructure to support it. That's
also
big
performance
no.
issues is something that people have been discussing through the
Of course,
Steam
no
review.
serious gamer takes Keighley seriously. Of course they don't.
And
And I'm the type of person, I watch the Game Awards for a totally, I know a lot of people are like, nope, I watch the Game Awards for the reveals. I don't watch it for the awards. I watch the Game Awards for the awards because I know it's mostly controlled by the media and by the industry people. And I want to see how the industry is voting to see how out of touch they were. Turns out this year, they voted for a lot of indie titles. They voted for Expedition 33, and they did not give a lot to AAA. That tells you something. When even the industry shills are willing to vote for indie and AA and not AAA, that should say something. That means maybe the tides are shifting.
Dang.
Maybe.
say that I myself have tried to play the game and check it out, but currently it's proving to be impossible because right now when I try to get into the game, even when I just try to play through the tutorial, the game boots me before I have a chance to play anything. This has been my experience for the last, like 30 minutes or so. So let me show you right here. You can see that you have to play the tutorial
Well,
before
again,
you can
server
engage
instability.
with
If
its
it's
other
doing
modes.
that,
So I click on it
it's
and I
gotta
hit
be
play,
server instability.
and you'll see that it'll find a match, and eventually it will. But once it does, what happens is I get taken to the loading screen, as you'll see right here.
Right.
And then
I mean, that
I'll just get
artwork
booted
does
out.
look dope, though. Like, I'm not gonna
Watch.
lie, that does look cool. And oh wow,
this has been my experience with Highguard. for
That
the
character
last
looks so dumb. That is the most generic. I just
30 minutes, like the last hour. Like I wanted to at least play a match before making this video, but I'm not capable of doing so. And looking through social media, I'm not the only one experiencing these issues.
Of course
a
not.
lot of people are reporting that they're having trouble just like playing the game at all. So technical mishaps at launch, definitely not helping optics surrounding Highguard.
Of course it's
and
not.
that's the risk you take when you don't do like a
Well, the optics were shambled when you did a free-to-play live service version of Overwatch, when that ship has sailed as, oh, by the way, this game is so freaking good, we're going to reveal it right before the Game of the Year award. The optics were slammed right there when this was not the best reveal of the night. Again, everybody says, should have been Divinity, should have been the Star Wars, The Fate of the Old Republic, like, could have been the Resi 9, right? The RE9, Resident Evil 9. Should have been that. Should have been a lot of other things other than this. Like, the ship has sailed on games like this. The optics of this were slammed that night at the Game Awards because they how do you not recognize that every time you try to put out a free-to-play hero shooter live service like this, out of every 5 or 6 or 7 or 10 that try to go live, only one makes it? Marvel Rivals was a random, like that. The fact that Marvel Rivals came out and did so well, it did well because it was different. It was superheroes. It actually seemed to offer a different gameplay style. That's the only reason it fucking did anything.
Beta tests, when you don't allow people to check the title out prior to launch to work out the kinks. The game is out fully. It is not advertised as a beta, and so people will treat it as such.
Yeah.
And so that's not painting a great picture surrounding the
I'm sorry, I even treat beta releases as full releases. You know why? Because half the time they fucking are. And I feel like these companies are hiding behind, this isn't the full release, this is still in beta. Are you making money off of it? Oh, you are making money off of it. So you're just hiding the fact that you need to fix a bunch of stuff. I'm sorry, if you're charging me money for it, that's just how I feel. I treat every beta as if it's a full release because it is. It just is. And they're hiding behind the fact that it's a beta, so that way they don't have to answer, so they can use that goodwill of it's a beta to actually, make their fucking game and actually polish it when that's how it should have released. Sorry, that's just how I be.
title. On social media right now, you can see that people have been experiencing all kinds of technical issues like long queue times and error messages saying that there are not enough players, which means that a lot of players are having trouble connecting to the game.
Wow.
As well as errors like this one saying that there's an online error, your connection to Highguard has been lost. A lot of server issues that are associated with games that, have an influx of players. But even for
my kiddos have heard me say a lot worse. Trust me. Like, they know daddy cusses, they know daddy's a blue collar worker, right? My kids are not sheltered little snowflakes.
the people who managed to get
And I am not a fucking helicopter parent.
in on social media, you'll find folks saying that 3v3 was a weird choice when the game, given the size of the maps, feels that it should at least be 6v6. Aspects of its upgrade system already being criticized, with Paul Tassi saying like the looting part of Highguard, that's akin to like Battle Royales, seems like everyone just gets the exact same quality upgrades each round with a tiny bit of exploring, so it sort of cancels out. I don't really get it. It doesn't feel necessarily like Apex. Paul Tassi also spoke about the 3v3 nature of the game and the map, saying that traversing with horses makes it more tenable to have 3v3 instead of 6v6, but the problem is 95% of the fighting will be in the bases, so
Dude, I feel like a game like this, with what they're doing with, like, you've got to go raid somebody else's fort and take it over. I feel like that should be 10v10 or more. Like, this should be big team battles. You want to raid somebody else's stuff? We've got a team watching the fort. We've got a team out going after raiding the other fort, and you basically have to win. Like, this is... Why are you doing 3v3 on this? This should be 10v10 or more. Am I wrong, guys? Let me know in the chat. Like, what?
might as well just be sort of a normal diffuse mode, but with extra steps. Other folks are not impressed by the game, are saying things like Highguard looks like every hero shooter-esque game I've seen in the last 10 years. It sort of feels like Realm Royale / Paladins, but in 2026. Not for me, but maybe people will enjoy it. And just searching through what social media like reception has been surrounding Highguard, you'll find that a lot of it is not like particularly very enthusiastic. One of the top comments here reads, Highguard feels in every aspect like a fan-made mode off of a pre-existing larger game. It's completely safe, inoffensive, and lacks a
No. Oh, that is a brutal takedown. Apparently, the guys who made Titanfall and were a part of Apex Legends brought you a fan-made ripoff of a pre-existing larger game. That's what that guy said. I mean, not exactly, but I'm paraphrasing and being hyperbolic. But that is not a good. Oh my. Oh wow. Oh, that's not good.
Single shred of identity, the shiny ArtStation portfolio end result of an entropic, self-consuming industry. Here's someone else bullet pointing some of the issues that they had with the game, and it's a lot of these same issues that plenty of people are expressing, saying that, you know, just on a technical level, the game is rough at launch with constant crashes and bad optimization. And then from a game design standpoint, this individual feels as though 3v3 raids feel absolutely boring. The game really needed a mode with more players. And finally, endless, not enough players messages when queuing, so more technical issues that prevent people from even...
You had 100,000 players. How did you not have enough players? You know why? Server instability. Server instability. That's what that tells me. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. You literally set up servers that couldn't handle the amount of players for a free-to-play live service game. What?
Playing the game. Now, that's not to say that there isn't some positive reception out there with people appreciating that Highguard does try to like reinvent the wheel a little bit, where yeah, they take components from all these other games, but they mix it all up together in this concoction that tries for something new, this like PvP raid thing that they're going for, this genre that does feel like a different take on some traditional games.
Again, executed properly, it could work. We've seen, how many times has there been a game that's come out that you're just like, I don't know about this, and then executed properly, you're just like, wait a minute, wait, this actually worked. Wait, why did this work? What? Wait, again, the hero shooter genre. I mean, it's no longer, it's more hero player. Marvel Rivals worked. Helldivers worked. Like, again, free-to-play live service games can work, but the execution has to be done properly.
Play loops or traditional gameplay elements that are combined to build something that does feel like it doesn't try to be like every other shooter. And for those media outlets and creators who did attend the event for Highguard, where they got to play, you know, like 6 hours in a less technically compromised environment, you know, reception seemingly has been positive, and the general consensus is that while, you know, nobody knows for sure whether this will gain
all the typical CNET, Escapist Magazine, GameSpot. Oh man. Oh boy, just read some of those. We're racing towards the enemy base with the opposing team hot on our heels in a 3v3 large map competitive live service multiplayer. Okay. If there's only 3 of you, and you're racing towards the enemy base, and those 3 are racing towards your base, who's there to defend the base?
Action, and will allow this live service to live for many years to come.
Oh, man. Shills are going to shill. Oh, mainstream media. Oh, man. The access media going to access media.
At the very least, there's a general appreciation for the fact that this game does feel like
Metro, Screen Rant. Oh, all of the usual suspects. Oh my gosh. Oh, we need to get IGN in here. Please tell me there's an IGN review. Please.
It tried something new and isn't like just a copy and paste.
Did it get a 7? Did it get a 7?
Of the same formats that are out there. It's not necessarily revolutionary, but it does feel like it's trying to invent a game mode that is an amalgam of all of these different things that is greater than the sum of its parts. But from the technical issues at launch to the general feedback that 3v3 is not quite doing it, given the size of the maps, and a lot of like design considerations that they couldn't tweak because they...
A lot of design considerations that they couldn't tweak because they were chasing a model that does not exist anymore.
He didn't host the beta. All of that ultimately is creating an environment where Highguard isn't being seen as worth the amount of hype that the Game Awards gave it as the big finale announcement for that show, and the amount of hype that Jeff Keighley gave it through all of the tweets that he's been posting, and even 48 hours prior to launch. Jeff Keighley was confident enough to tweet that in 48 hours, I'll be accepting your apologies.
Please tell me he got tagged. Please tell me he got tagged in so many posts. Oh, just go to Twitter and be like, Jeff Keighley, we'll be accepting your apology now. That's what you repost this. I'm not on Twitter anymore. I can't do this. I need you guys to do this for me. Chat, please, I need you to do this for me, chat. If you're still on Twitter, if you're still over there, go to Jeff Keighley. I want you to repost this and just tag Jeff Keighley and say, we will be accepting your apology now. Please do this for me. Please, I know you guys are here to just make fun of me and tell me that you tell me that I drink White Claw, which I don't. But I just chat, please.
But right now, it's not looking like this tweet is living up to its level of confidence. Now, with all said and done, it's only been a few hours since the game's launch. No doubt that developers will start to tweak the game based on feedback. No doubt that people will start to get more acclimated with this kind of unique brand of gameplay loop, this PvP raid mode that the developers are trying to push for here. And
PvP raid mode could work, not with 3v3. Again, what is your minimum for PvP raid base stuff? You have to defend your base. You've got to, that could be big. I mean, how big are we talking? Right? I would say you could do 10, you could do small team of 10 people, big team of 20 if you really wanted some chaos. Tell me in the chat. Tell me in the chat. What do you guys think? Like, where are you at?
And again, over the course of the next few days and weeks, we'll get a better picture for the status of this live service, whether its launch woes will persist or whether all of that will get resolved and people will start to jive with this game over time as time goes on. And, once I'm able to get into a game, I'd love to check it out for myself and share my own thoughts on what it's like playing the title. I do want to give this game a chance. I do want to make sure I play through a couple matches before.
I don't want to give it a chance until somebody tells me it's worth my time.
Or I express how I feel about the quality of the game itself. But right now, I'm not seeing anything indicating that.
But you have to play a game before you make your mind up about it. No, I don't. That's what reviews are. That's what reviews are for. Especially reviews from channels that I trust.
This game is absolutely safe for the long term. That is absolutely beloved across the board, which is kind of what this game needed due to how poorly received the marketing campaign of it was. And while we're on the topic of that marketing campaign, news outlet Kotaku did talk to the developers about the marketing campaign and the announcement of the game, and they kind of talked about how all of that played out, because the original plan for Highguard was to pull in Apex Legends. The original plan was, in fact, to shadow drop the title, but then apparently Jeff Keighley reached out with a proposal and a plan. Here's what co-founder Chad Greenier told Kotaku, quote, "Look, we always plan for, a surprise release, but then Jeff came in and wanted to do something special and
just imagine Jeff Keighley calls you and goes like, guys, I think your game is so good. I want to make it the last reveal before the Game of the Year award. It's so good. And they're like, oh my gosh, this is going to be insane. This is our marketing for the game. This is wild. And everybody's like, oh my gosh. And they're sitting there the night that the Game Awards and they're watching their gameplay reveal and they're just like, oh my gosh, yes. And the team goes on Twitter and they look and everybody's like, we hate you. And they're like, wait, what? And they're like, why did you even make this game? Can you just imagine the emotional roller coaster? Oh, it's so good. I don't know why I laugh at this. They're like, but we tried so hard. Yeah, but you didn't succeed so hard. And that's what we care about.
us in the Game Awards. We were going to do a shadow drop, since day one. Almost since forming this company, we did it with Apex, and it worked well. Now, I will highlight again that the reason it worked with Apex Legends and why Highguard wouldn't benefit as much from this maneuver is the fact that Apex Legends came from a well-known and renowned studio, Respawn Entertainment. It was, within the Titanfall universe, so it had some brand recognition to it. And it released around a time when the genre that Apex Legends tackled, Battle Royale, was really popular, whereas Highguard is releasing at a time when things like the hero shooter genre and, the live service elements that it tries to tackle are not at the level of popularity that they were at the time that Apex Legends launched, when it tried to
They didn't read the room. They made a game. They didn't read the room. They didn't look at the industry. They were like, we like this. We're going to make this. It's going to be awesome. It's like, guys, people are over that shit.
Pave its road in the Battle Royale market. The conditions that Highguard tried to pull in Apex Legends were not the same, were not equivalent.
Chat,
so
you guys are on fire
Highguard really
tonight.
took a tremendous risk that may not yield the level of success that Apex Legends saw with that maneuver, due to how differing these circumstances are. But I suppose the spotlight that the Game Awards can bring was too alluring, though, as we've seen, that can be a double-edged sword. The level of hype that, especially as the big finale that is expected of such an announcement, like, if you don't live up to that hype, it can bite you in the ass, especially if you're such a brand new studio with such a new IP. Green,
And also riding off of the legacy of Titanfall and Apex Legends. For reference, I've not played those games, but I know how beloved they are. So I'm not speaking from a perspective of somebody who loved those games. I am speaking from a perspective of a person who has heard other people talk about their love for those games and how highly regarded they are. You rode that brand recognition, you use that brand recognition in your marketing, and guess what? You didn't deliver on that.
Continues here. We have known Jeff for a long time, and he said, let me do something that's maybe a little risky in hindsight, but different, to take a free-to-play PvP raid shooter and do something with it. So we rushed a trailer together. I wish the reception had been better, but in hindsight, we made a trailer to entertain really quickly and didn't show the gameplay loop and what's different and unique. And I do agree with this take, because the trailer that was shown at the Game Awards was so uninformative that it made the game look like just any other generic hero shooter. Whereas like the gameplay overview shown right here that highlights, what it tries to do that's different, does do a better job of showing and spotlighting.
I like the fact that you get different animals to ride and stuff. Like that doesn't, graphic, like, just things aside, the elements, let's just say the actual elements that they put in. Like cool, I can get down with that, but it just this does not look good. This does just
some of the aspects of Highguard that maybe stands out a little compared to the other games out there. We don't know if it's a winning formula quite yet until, more people get to spend more time with the game. But at the very least, it would have done a better job of giving a better impression than
I'm going to respond to you, Mario Trujillo.
That original trailer did, which was just such a clearly rush-looking and generic trailer that it painted like the worst possible picture they could have for their game. Like, they might have actually been better.
Dude, there were videos of people literally being like, we're going to compare this to the Concord trailer, and there were scenes that were almost shot for shot. That's how generic it was, that the trailer had almost shot-for-shot scenes that looked very, very close to Concord.
Off just shadow dropping the title, then accepting Jeff Keighley's proposal. He kind of accidentally doomed the game through the sheer level of expectation that he placed by making this game the big finale.
No, I think he put a spotlight on it. I honestly, if people are saying it's just not good, I don't think he doomed the game. I think he just put a spotlight on it. Now people are looking at it going, yeah, this is definitely not what you said it was.
When it still has to find its footing. It feels like Jeff Keighley made it run before it could even walk. Not the intended effect, and I know Jeff Keighley was just genuinely excited about this game and really wanting to spotlight the developer's work. And I do respect and appreciate Jeff's intentions, but as they say, sometimes the road to hell is paved in good intentions. But yeah, it's just too early to say how Highguard will perform over the long term. It generally takes a couple days to really gauge how hooked people are on the game. If we start to see players drop off from Highguard over the next few days, then already that's not a good sign.
I would imagine that you're going to. If people can't get into the game, why would you stick around to a game that you can't get into? Well, if people drop off, what do you mean if people drop off? People are going to drop off. If you can't get into the game, you literally made a video. It'd be like, well, the reason, basically Young, he even said it earlier. He's like, hey, the reason I'm making this video is because I tried to play the game and I couldn't get into it. Because of, like I said, it sounds like server. To me, it sounds like server instability. He said it earlier in this video. We watched him say it. He's like, I tried to play the game, couldn't get in. But obviously, it's his job to make a video about Highguard. What plays better? Hey guys, I'm playing Highguard. Here's my opinion. Or hey guys, here's how people are reacting. It plays better if he could actually get in and play the game. It does better for his business. The game is so unstable. He had to make his second choice for his business in order to make a video today about it. Come on. What does that say? Does that say people are going to be here tomorrow? No.
But if we start to see more positive social media reception and word of mouth spread, that people are starting to understand the game better and are starting to have a lot more fun, and we see those player numbers stay resilient or rise even over the next few days before it starts to peter out a little bit, but overall,
not if people can't get into the game.
All over the long term, we see the game maintain decent enough player numbers where we can see this last in a couple years. Then that'll indicate a healthy live service. But for now, what I can see is that I don't think Highguard's launch was a complete home run, and the negative reception surrounding some of its decisions, with Steam reviews here being still overwhelmingly negative, despite almost 5,000 people now after refreshing this page having reviewed the game. It just doesn't inspire confidence that this live service is long for a long-term future. Well, the game is far from being like this complete travesty or anything. None of this is indicative of a game that's overwhelmingly winning the hearts of people to a degree where you can fully say, oh, we were completely wrong about the potential of Highguard maybe not doing so hot over the long term. It doesn't that's create a scenario where you can confidently say this game will definitely make a comeback. We don't quite know yet. And
I mean, the potential for a comeback is always there. Lest we forget No Man's Sky or obviously Cyberpunk 2077. Those did major comebacks. The potential for a comeback is always there. The probability of a comeback based off of what we know from the data of the rest of the industry, not so high. Could Highguard make a comeback? Of course, the possibility is always there. Is it probable? No, it's not probable. Possible? Yes. Probable? No.
It's just right now, things are looking a little shaky.
A little shaky. I love how he does this always.
We'll see what happens. This is my take. I'd love to hear what your thoughts and opinions are on Highguard. If you've played it yourself, do you think this game has the potential to capture an audience and for this to be a healthy live?
Okay. All right. In all fairness to Young, the only reason that I even still watch Young, I actually do appreciate how hard the man tries to just be as neutral and as middle of the road as possible and just be like, here's what I'm seeing online. Here's other stuff. What are other... And I get it. People are like, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions. But you know what? I still watch him because oftentimes I'm just like, okay, it's really tough to play middle of the road all of the time. I can't do it. Don't like doing that. I watch people who do the middle of the road stuff because I'm like, okay, although I disagree with the fact that you're not saying the thing that I want you to say, I also appreciate the fact that you're not saying the opposite of what I want you to say, which I'm like, cool, you're feeding me information. I don't know, some opinion. Hey, dude, also think that the industry kind of works this way. I frustratingly appreciate it. Does that make sense? I frustratingly appreciate his delivery style. Overall, Highguard was going to have an extremely tough road ahead of it regardless. It was in the chat earlier. Again, you're chasing trends and it takes you 5 to 7 years to make a game. We need to get back, if you really want trends to return, you need to get back to 2 to 3 year developer cycles. This bullshit that it's taking, 5 to 10 years to make a game right now, you can't look at that. You can't say with any certainty that things are going to pop off like that in the future. The fact that Highguard is not playing as well has everything to do with Jeff Keighley's bullshit idea of making it the last game. Like, if this is what Jeff Keighley thinks is a good game, we seriously need to evaluate his gamer cred. I think he built a fantastic business with the Game Awards. I think that's a great idea, but my good Lord, this game, if they're going to make a comeback, they're going to have to pull off a No Man's Sky. They're going to have to do it, or a Cyberpunk 2077. Like, you're going to have to to make a comeback so hard that people are like, guys, you have no idea. Like, and I mean, you get honest reviews from not paid reviews, and they're definitely not going to have the money to do that. But you're going to have to get honest reviews from some big time people, and they're like, holy crap, this was genuinely enjoyable. That's what they have to get over. That's the hump they have to get over. They cannot rely on a genre. They're going to have to make goodwill out of a comeback. Is it possible? Yes. Probable? No. Where do I think Highguard lands? I think Highguard, based off of probability, probably going to disappear within the next month, and this thing's going to disappear like a fart in the wind. That's just where I'm at. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think of Yang Ya's coverage of stuff? I love that he is just aggressively middle of the road for the most part. Like I said, I disagree that he doesn't say the thing I want him to, but I really like that he also doesn't say the thing that I don't want him to. And sometimes you just got to appreciate stuff like that. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below of this VOD. I appreciate you all being here for this extremely long reaction. And as always, I'm turning it over to the chat because the chat is here with me right now. And you watching this VOD are not. Returning. Hi, chat. Does it feel weird for you, chat, when I talk to future people? Because I'm talking to people in the future. Chat, what if you went into the future and you commented down below in the video and be like, I was here when he talked to people in the future? Because then I could be talking to you in the present and then also in the future. I am having way too much fun with this tonight. My gosh, dude, you guys went off tonight. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get through all of your chats. You guys went off. At this point, if it's not a AAA game, it's not if the AAA game is going to crash. It's how epic the crash is going to be. Yeah, I agree. I think there are some AAAs that are going to do really, really well this year. There are 3 games that I am very much looking forward to this year. One I'm very curious for. The other is an indie game that I really love what they're doing. And the third one I might actually be excited for. Crimson Desert. Crimson Desert comes out in March, I believe. Crimson Desert, it's from the guys who made Black Desert Online. I am just curious about that game. I want to know how the gameplay is. It just looks like something that I can absolutely just have fun with. There's so many things going on. I'm just curious. I just want to know. The combat system isn't Dark Souls. It's different. I want to know what that game is going to do. Second game is Varen's Call. Forsaken Realms. Varen's Call. Basically, it is an indie version of Fable, like the original Fable, taking a lot of inspiration from that from back in the day. Love supporting. Looks like it's fun, whimsical, going to be a great time. Absolutely have that on my wish list. And actually, after I saw the developer showcase for the new Fable game coming out, as somebody who played the original Fable, it's up there. Yeah, it's up there. As somebody who played the original Fable game, I'm unironically excited for the new Fable. I played the original Fable, didn't see anything that threw me off. Like, I even had some people in the Discord the other day that were like, well, but what about like some of the modern audience stuff? And I was like, what are you talking about? And they were like, well, like effeminate male characters and just like girl bossy other characters. I'm like, Your rival in the first game, Fable, in the very first game, was a girl boss character that constantly demeaned you until you beat her in the arena and you got the choice to spare her or end her. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you could run around in the goofiest clothes. Like, again, people who are making those accusations of Fable, you weren't there for the first ones. This type of game is already in existence 18 times over. Yeah, I think you're right. I've never played them because I've just never had any interest in them. Highly competitive stuff like that, I'm like, no, maybe back when I was a kid, but dude, I'm an adult now. I ain't got time to be highly competitive. I want to sit back. You know what I played this week? I played Solasta, Crown of the Magister. Super fun, man. Oh, that game. You start playing Solasta, Crown of the Magister. Basically, it's based off of the D&D 5e. Man, dude, just lose myself in that game. Just lose myself. Is it the greatest game of all time? Absolutely not. Do I absolutely get down with the mechanics? Yup. And if my wizard keeps rolling critical fucking fails, I'm gonna be pissed. Oh, don't want it to do that anymore. Highguard was a bad name. It sounds like Overwatch ripoff. That's exactly what it sounds like. So basically, every marketing buzzword in a free-to-play package. Yes. Absolutely. Of course it was a marketing buzzword in a package. Yes. By the way, does it require PS Plus to play? I have no idea. I don't have... I have no idea. I know English is one of your many weaknesses, Royce, but we, the chat, believe in you. Fuck you, dude. I've been talking all day. My voice is gone. Words are not wordsing for me tonight. Of course you think yes. This honestly feels like the most awkward game release to me so far. I wouldn't even call it awkward. It doesn't feel awkward. It legitimately feels like just a swing and a miss. Free plays always delivers to me. What? It's still going, Daddy. Oh, screw you guys. Not even old enough to drive, and she's already a pot stirrer. Yeah, she's not the pot stirrer of the bunch. The pot stirrer of the bunch is her younger sister. Her younger sister is, that's the one. Her younger sister. We're just like, you need to learn some tact, kid. You can't just be saying jokes like that in public. Ooh, she's ruthless. Like, you'd be surprised. Her sister's 11, and you'd just be like, "Oh my god." Yeah, she's even. I'm just like, kid, calm it the fuck down. You're gonna have your hands and wig full with that one, Royce. This one maybe not so much. What's going on, Bull Rush? Good to see you. Caffeinated Wolf, Jeff Keighley. Foot in his mouth right now. He'll never admit to that. No serious gamer takes Keighley seriously. Obviously, Keighley is a less self-aware Todd Hauer. Jonathan Grant, that's actually a very good point. I did see this chat pop up when I was talking about why I watch the Game Awards. I watch it to see how the industry is voting because it gives you an idea of how the industry is going to move forward. And I think that's it just doesn't work. Of course it doesn't. Visually, the game looks cool on its face, but it's not my type of gameplay. I think the still images that they did in the loading screen, I think that artwork looks super, super dope. It kind of got like the water. It's not water paint, like maybe oil paint. Or no, I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, thought that was cool. Game needs. What? This game looks fake, bruv. Probably. The Overwatch SIP is outright sunk. It's held up by things not safe for kids. Ooh, don't like that. After Highguard, Game Awards 2026 might have a much better final reveal to make up for it. They're going to need it, man. I can't believe this was the final reveal. Oh, man. Yeah. Like I said, just go on Twitter and make sure you tag Jeff Keighley and say we would like our apology now. Oh, that'd be so great. Share and go to the Discord. If you guys are not in the Discord, I want you guys to go into the Discord. And I want you to share your screenshots of asking Jeff Keighley to apologize. Can we do that? Is that a thing? Let me open up Discord real quick. I'll get you guys the link if you're not in the Discord. You gotta go to the Discord, guys. You gotta like tag, just send in your pictures of being like, hey, you should, you should definitely go and invite to server. We're going to copy that link and we're going to paste it right here. Get in the server. Go. Just share your screenshots of asking Jeff Keighley for an apology, because I believe in you guys, and that would be great fun for me because I'm not there anymore. Oh my goodness, dude. Why so long with the comment? The Heroes for genre is not a safe bet right now. Blizzard had lost a lot of consumer confidence with Overwatch 2, and NetEase is just dominating in the space with Marvel Rivals. It's looking like Fortnite and saying, I think I'll make a third-person Battle Royale game. Pretty much. Yeah, that's dumb. You shouldn't do that. Okay, then it's, Overwatch is kept up by, really? Wow, I did not know that about Overwatch. I did not know that. I'm going to avoid saying those words in front. I don't mind cussing in front of my kids, but there are words that I won't say in front of them. If the maps are that large, then 3v3 is the wrong squad count. Absolutely. Stop. It's already dead, right? It's already dead. Imagine if you can choose your own class like Diablo and have 100 v 100 players. That sounds way more interesting than just a standard hero. Dude, can you imagine an over-the-top isometric RPG where you build your characters like you would in Path of Exile 2, but it's all PvP based, and you have to go raid your character's land, and you have like 100 characters. So it's like a 100 v 100 isometric top down. You go out and you guys are literally controlling your characters like you would in Path of Exile 2 or Diablo, and you have to go and you have to try to raid their castle. That, I can see that going absolutely insane. Maybe it does it, though. Maybe it's a bad idea. That's probably why they haven't done it. They probably didn't expect a first day to do so well. No point in setting up servers. Nobody going to use them. Then that's on there. If you don't expect 100,000 or 200,000 players on your first day, that's on you. You're doing a free-to-play live service. Free, meaning people don't have to pay, meaning it's more accessible to more people. You're telling me you don't have the server space to accommodate for that? No, that's on you then. You deserve to fail if that's the case. Come on. I can understand if you have like 1 million players day one and you're like, we didn't expect this. 100,000 players seems pretty run of the mill for a lot of stuff like this. Come on. Wow. Paid off by Jeff Keighley. No, I don't know. I have no idea. Wow. Even IGN seems to look at this and went, I still have some standards. Oh my God. If that's IGN's reaction, like, nah, we have standards. God. Meanwhile, Todd Howard is thinking, let's release another Skyrim port. Oh, it's time for Skyrim and Yui. Oh my God. How did this turn into a fucking Bethesda conversation? Oh my God. You guys even got bored of talking about how bad Highguard was that you went to talking about how bad Bethesda was. Oh, it just keeps getting funnier. Oh, I love you, chat. Despawn boredom, right? Oh, Respawn Entertainment's gonna need a new name change, right? Yeah, there ain't no name change here. Oh, this is what happens when you choose trends in an industry. Yeah, absolutely, John. Oh, Royce wants a dire goat. Okay, but like in all seriousness, though, a dire goat. Can you imagine that charging at somebody and smacking them? Like, especially if you don't dehorn them. So, like, you get a ram. Ooh, a dire ram. Ooh, dude, not a fun day for who's just a 10-foot tall dire ram. That's ridiculous. I gotta go get ready to do my own stupid human tricks. Dude, have a great night, everybody, and God bless. God bless, Wrangler, man. Good to have you here. Sheer effing hubris. Absolutely, Jane Schultz. I agree. At least they didn't make an animated short for the Amazon secret level. Oh my gosh, that was insane. A diorama scream. Oh my gosh, that'd be terrible. Yeah. That would have been huge. Yeah. Considering that people can't play games, an hour playthrough seems not far off. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I didn't think about that. But yeah, if you can't get into the game and you can only play for an hour because that's literally all you could get in for. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes not every subject needs your input. Yeah, usually. I say Hydark is a little shaky. It's like saying Royce is a little suspicious. Fuck you. Fuck you. Oh no, I just want to boot up Rivals. I need to hit Lord tier with my ex-wife Emma. Oh no. You mean the dev team has to put in creativity and hard work? I know. Who would have thought that game creators would have actually had to do something creative? I've been questioning Keely's gamer cred since I started part-time at GameStop employees in 2011. My final year as a store manager. Oh, he's a clown. Yeah, potentially. I like the Game Awards. I think the Game Awards are fantastic. I like them. I don't think they're always correct, but I think it's cool that the largest gaming medium in the world has an award show now. And in a lot of instances, some years is actually taken quite seriously by the other award. And yeah, I like that. I like Young, but remember, he's also a part of the industry as a voice actor. Oh, yeah. Oh, and that Yakuza game. Oh, my God. That was horrible. Oh, that was so bad. I came from the future. Spoilers for the end of the stream. Royce is... I see. I'll take any games that are free, yo. Yeah, I mean, you know what? That's it. Highguard has one thing going for it. It's free. You can go and play it. I'm finally looking forward to the new Fable. Yeah, I agree with the new Fable. Yeah. Royce, you got to remember that many people in the culture war have acquired brain rot, and you are perpetually looking for dragons to slay even when they don't exist. That's what makes me so sad. Yeah, that's what makes me so sad about a lot of that. OW isn't propped up. Prawns. Overwatch is propped up. That's not how it works, but purportedly people have pulled the in-game models from the game on the model. Okay. That's stuff that I don't even know what's going on. I don't play Overwatch. We need new game genres now, right? Rams already scream. Imagine a dire ram scream. That would be absolutely insane. A dire ram scream would be wild, dude. That would be... I don't think I'd want to be on the receiving end of that in any way. Hey, do you guys want to watch a Count Dankula video with me? Because this ties into what we were talking about the other day. Oh boy, the internet's getting smaller. Remember how they're trying to make sure that you have to age verify for every website that you could potentially have mature material on it? And that's potentially. Which is almost every single website. Who are your favorite game designers? Ooh. Who are my favorite game designers? Honestly, I have to think. Okay. This is going to be such a stupid answer. My views since I was younger have really changed on stuff like that because I just don't put a lot of stock into games that I used to. I will say my favorite game designer for the last, in recent memory, are the guys who made Expedition 33. Expedition 33 is absolutely fantastic. Goodness. Recently, Expedition 33 did a really good job. Who are my favorite game designers? A lot of the companies that I would say are my favorite game designers are from when I was younger and are no longer the same companies and have obviously had their series of just downfalls ever since. So I don't have any anymore. Used to be Bungie. Bungie did a great job. Then they fell off. I mean, Destiny is just in shambles right now. Halo was the shit. Fucking... Gosh, I just don't know. Because I'm just not impressed the way that I used to be. I would really have to think about that. I would really, really have to think about who my favorite game designers would be now. That's a really sad answer. I don't know. I just don't look at stuff the way that I used to. It really pisses some of my friends off. Let's watch a Count Dankula video, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it. All right, the UK apparently is going to ban VPNs.
UK government targets VPNs and online
Talk to me, dirty Scottish man.
safety consultation as Lords vote for ban. Now, you all remember the Online Safety Act, which was totally about protecting kids.
1,000%. 1,000%. He's right. I believe everything that I believe everything that the dirty Scottish man tells me. He's also kind of funny.
It totally was about protecting kids and
Yep.
wasn't just a means for governments to be able to stick a face to all internet traffic so they know who to monitor, who to keep an eye on, who to surveil, all that other stuff.
Yeah,
It
he's
was
totally
totally
right. It definitely was not for that reason. Totally not. We didn't cover this in a video just the other day. We did not do any of that.
about protecting children.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, ignore Rotherham and all the other places and the mass inaction of the mass child rape that happens all up and down the country, but I can assure you the government
Yeah, no, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. Nothing to see here, folks.
cares about children.
Yes.
Right? And this totally isn't just a vehicle for mass surveillance, right? It's about protecting the children. I promise.
I agree.
However, basically what a lot of people were then doing is they were just installing VPNs and just circumventing the ban that way.
See.
So what the government is now doing...
I shouldn't say see. That's Spanish for yes. He's Scottish. He wouldn't understand this. He doesn't know Spanish. He's Scottish. They don't understand Spanish words.
As they're coming after VPNs. Technology Secretary Liz Kendall promises evidence-led approach to keeping children safe online.
They're going after VPNs. Ladies and gentlemen, if you think that you can get around this stuff with a VPN, guess what? You can't.
Liz Kendall, the UK Secretary of State for Science, Innovation and Technology, has announced a 3-month consultation to explore further measures to improve online safety for children.
Thanks, English is worse than yours, Royce. Surprising, right?
Including potential restrictions on VPNs. Then I promise it's only going to be a restriction for children, guys. In fact, I'll say...
Yeah, you're only going to be able to use a VPN if you age verify yourself online. Because, with the Online Safety Act, well, you can't use a VPN if you are a child because that would violate the Online Safety Act and for children. And if you, so what you're going to have to age verify yourself. So we know who's using the VPNs, which means that the VPN effectively does not wait.
That for the end. Ministers will consider action to address concerns that VPNs are being used to get around important protections. The consultation, which was announced on Tuesday, will involve discussions with parents, safety organisations, tech companies and young people. The process will...
and young people.
will also consider banning social media for under 16s, preventing companies from harvesting children's data without consent, introducing overnight curfew.
I'm going to say the same thing here that I said in the video about Discord wanting age verification. This is what it is, okay? I do not like government overstep. And even my wife kind of pushed back on me on this one. And I was like, I do not agree with adding new laws to the books to criminalize people in new ways. That being said, there's already laws on the books to go after negligent parents and people parents who they believe or who the government believes are putting their kids in harm's way, right? So if the idea is protecting children under this narrative that they're going for, then why is it that they do not already go and exact laws against the parents and use the weight of the laws that already exist against parents who supposedly, by letting their children access these websites online, are putting their children in harm's way? Because one parent's kid said, did you know that this parent, allowed their child to get on some websites that they shouldn't have, and now they're getting fined by the government for it, and they're going to have to serve some jail time. Parents all over the world go, wow, maybe we should actually be parents and not let our kids do this. Again, a little bit fear works, but no, what do they do? What do they do? Instead of enacting laws that already exist, they just pass new laws so they can make the rules even worse. It's not about making society better, ladies and gentlemen. It's about controlling it. Big difference.
and promoting solutions to curb excessive doom scrolling. Now, just to address a few of the things in there.
Yeah, like excessive doom scrolling is the big problem. I'm sorry. Dude, the meme, people, oh my gosh, they doom scroll. I'm sorry. Was there not a joke, and was it not well known that, like, do you guys remember this? You'd see old TV shows and guys would, like, grab the newspaper so they could go to the bathroom for 45 minutes and just sit there and just not even care what they were reading. That was literally the boomer version of doom scrolling, was taking the newspaper to the bathroom with you. Come on.
Right. Banning social media for under 16s. Now, would that be so bad? Purely because of that old tweet that says the fact that I can log onto this website and I'm under constant threat of seeing the political opinion of a 14-year-old should be considered a war crime, right? Just I'm not see the amount of times when I'm on Twitter. Well, actually, I'm 15, and what I
Hey, we don't call them war crimes. We call them Geneva suggestions. There's a difference. My wife is just standing here. Also, you can blame Canada for most of them being called war crimes. I'm not kidding.
You should do a whole show on that.
Oh, dude. I should reach out to the VAT electrician and be like, you always make the joke that Canada just calls them the Geneva suggestions. We need an entire VAT electrician video
I can't believe he hasn't done one.
on the war crimes that Canada committed and the reason that, like, we now call them war crime. Canada was savage. Back it was. Okay. Now they're sorry, eh?
think is don't care. Shut the fuck up. Go back and play Pokemon. Shut the fuck up. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
I think the country should be run. Shut the fuck up. You've not long stopped fucking pooping your pants. No one cares. Right, but however, still. Children still have rights and can still say things, right? That means they get free speech just like everybody else, I suppose. However, none of us are interested in anything you have to say about politics, right?
And here's the thing. He's right. Children do get as much free speech as everybody else. However, if you are a good parent, what you should be encouraging from your children is articulation, elocution, and knowledgeable execution of that free speech. So that way, you're not just written off as some online, what do they call them, squeakers? When you're in an online game lobby and you hear a 12-year-old shouting at you, you're like, oh my gosh, you're a squeaker. Again, if you're a good parent, you're going to encourage those things.
Go do a floss in Roblox or something. No one's listening. Preventing companies from harvesting children's data without consent. I don't think companies should be allowed to harvest any data fucking whatsoever. Introducing overnight curfews like China. China has gaming curfews for children. There's certain rules and stuff like that they have where basically if you're a child and you're playing games in China, if you've been on for too long, it shuts it off.
I think it's less than an hour a day, which, again, that should be up to the parents, not the government. The reason society is falling the way that it is because the family is not the center point and the linchpin of how society is progressing. We have made the government, which, again, you should have the family, which then goes out in, which, again, you have the family at the peak of society, at the pyramid of society, right? It's at the top, which then disseminates down into communities, which then disseminates down into local governments, which then disseminates down into larger state governments, which then disseminates down into the federal government. The destruction of the family as the spearhead of society is the reason that we are in such disarray today. And it's interesting to see how they keep attacking the family more and more and more.
And there's also a curfew on that about when you can play. And curb excessive doom scrolling. That seems like a personal issue, right? One thing that I've discovered that I would do, right, and this is when I smoked. I would doom scroll when I was smoking. That's how I controlled it.
I don't doom scroll while I smoke. I drink while I smoke. Seems like a waste of time to doom scroll while you smoke. Why would you doom scroll while you can drink while you smoke? That doesn't make sense to me. Can somebody explain this in normal American redneck terms and not Scottish redneck? What the? What's the Scottish word for redneck? I don't know. The Scots are different than American rednecks. I don't know.
Nearly 2 months without the cigarettes now, and I'm fine.
No, you're not.
I'm fine. I'm not
okay.
thinking about it constantly at all. Only
okay.
smoked
You're
for like
fine.
20 fucking years. But anyway,
It's okay.
I would doom scroll
You're
a
a
little
quitter.
bit on
It's fine. It's fine. It's okay.
Instagram reels whenever I was smoking, and then I would go back to my work or back to whatever I was doing. Right. Or sometimes I would do a little bit of work, and like whenever I want a break for like the kids, because this is the thing is I love playing with my kids. I do it all the time, but they are 4 and 2. Right. I'll admit I go to the gym a lot. However, I do not have the energy of a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. Right. And the problem is they gang up on me and they kick my head in. My youngest head butted me in the fucking nuts the other day.
Oh, I've been there. Yup.
Right. Sometimes daddy needs to sit down and have a wee 5 minutes. just a wee 5 minutes, doom scroll a little bit of Instagram, right?
Nope, I'm not going to go off on a parenting rant here. I'm good. Nope. It's fine. It's fine. Everybody parents differently, and we have to accept it, you know. If you come in and establish, hey, guys, this is playtime. Well, I'm going to play with you guys. We're going to have some fun for a minute. And then it's like, hey, when I'm done, I'm done. And you establish the rules. But they're 4 and 2. You can't. Yeah, if you're not establishing the rules now, you're not establishing them later. You start from day one.
Now, I understand that that can be a problem to the amount of people that are like, basically, I don't know if I should reveal too much. Basically, I have noticed that the younger the women that you date, or that you like bring back to your place, or you go back, well, you never go back to theirs. Like,
okay, let's skip that.
And there was one girl, yeah, but basically that is a bad thing, and you shouldn't be doing that, right?
Yep. Get back to the story.
For 3 hours, whereas in the same breath, you probably just watched a 3-hour video essay about some interesting subject or some drama, right? But all of these can be remedied. Well, the company thing's different, but all of these can be remedied if parents just start parenting.
Oh, look at that.
And start looking at what their children are accessing online. But
Count Dankula agrees with me.
The announcement was followed by a government defeat in the House of Lords on Wednesday, where peers backed an amendment that would ban VPNs for children under 18 and force providers to implement age checks. Peers also voted in favour of banning social media for under 16s. Labour peers had urged the chamber
All
to wait.
comes back to verifying your age and knowing exactly what you are doing. I absolutely love this video. I'm going to finish watching this in my own time because I freaking love Count Dankula. I'm going to finish watching this in my own time for a couple of reasons. One, it's going to give him an extra view if I watch it on my personal account, not my business account. And two, also, I'm going to share this with you guys in the chat because I freaking love it. Yeah, if parents would just parent. And again, if you actually used laws on the books for child endangerment stuff that they already use against parents, if you're saying, if their narrative is protect the children, why are then you not using existing laws on the books for child endangerment and stuff like that? Make it make sense. It has nothing to do with protecting the children and everything to do with controlling society. They're not here to make society better. They're here to control it. I'm sorry. You're not going to convince me otherwise. That's exactly what this is all about. Always has been, always will be. Never not. And if you guys are hanging out in the VOD. Oh, goodness. Ow. Face. I ended this VOD terribly. I'm sorry. Damn it. Comment down below. Fuck. I hope you enjoyed this up until I sneezed. I'm sorry. I tried. That one hurt. I'm going to go to the chat now because the chat's here live and you're watching the VOD and you're not here live and you should be here live on Mondays and Thursdays. Hi, chat. Oh, my goodness. My voice is going out. Especially that hurt. That physically hurt. That last sneeze was ridiculous. Imagine a diorama scream. That would be wild. Game designers read that one. Normal size RAM charging is bad enough. Dire ram would be terrifying. Dude, a dire ram would be... I mean, effectively, what are we looking at there? 400 or 500 pounds? Maybe more? I mean, a dire ram, that's going to hit you with the force of a small car. Or probably like a side-by-side. Like a side-by-side, like a four-wheeler. I mean, that's effectively a four-wheeler. It's going to hit you with the force of a four-wheeler. That would be terrifying. Be a good guard animal, though. Be a great guard animal. I sometimes see videos of tourists being stupid and not understanding how dangerous animals can be. Some people wouldn't think much about dire ram until it was too late and entertaining for the rest of us. Yeah, oh, dude, it'd just be like watching a person get knocked out and just never get back up. Just a lifetime of knockout. We totally didn't talk about this. I start cackling, remembering what I did. You ruined me, Jane Schultz. That Discord video, I saw what you did. By the way, if you guys are in the Discord, go in the Discord, find the tab for live stream reaction suggestions, and post your videos there. Just post the videos. You don't have to leave a comment and stuff like that. Just post the videos, and if I get to them, I get to them. I am trying to stream for longer. I'm still not there yet. And obviously, I'm struggling. My voice is not lasting as long as it used to. Tank's English is worse than yours. Shut up. I already responded to that. Shut up. I mean, it's not his fault. He has a disability. He's a Scot. Oh no. Are Scots born drunk and thus unable to speak English well? No, that would be the Irish. Yes, in Scottish Gaelic it's da. Oh wait, is that redneck? Oh, that's great. Oh goodness. So not good. A good parent will already not allow the kids under a certain age on social media. The government doesn't give a flying shit about your kids. No, of course they don't. That's why my kids are not allowed on social media. They're not allowed, and there's a very good chance they will not be allowed on social media until they leave my house. Period. That's where I'm at. The government likely age verifying, or you're getting the rat cage mask. Oh, probably. Which, I mean, if it's a starving rat, that's going to be a problem. But, you know, I already have rats, so I'm not afraid of them. We have pet rats. And honestly, pet rats, domesticated rats, they're awesome. So you train them like dogs. They're great. They're wonderful. They're cuddly and snuggly. But my house is also not the typical house. We've got dogs, cats, rats, tarantulas, scorpions, snakes. I feel like I'm missing something in there. Anyway, just scream across the cornfield, Royce. The fat electrician will hear you. Right? Oh, dude, it'd be so good. Both Canada and Japan act like angels compared to how they were back in the day. Uh-huh. Well, because all of the Canadians and Japanese that were alive back then are kind of dead now, so they didn't pass on any of the awesome genetic. Well, I don't know, Japan. Japan did some horrible things during World War II. What is it? Oh God, what is it? The 700 and is it 771 or something like that? You guys know what I'm talking about with Japan. Remind me, what is it? It's like 771, 751, something. The basically the experimentation wing of the military, and that's the reason that we know. Yeah. Honey in your coffee, potentially. No, okay. Full transparency, Liu. It's winter time right now, and I am just not drinking water. It's cold outside. And it's really, really hard for me to drink water in the wintertime. I need to. In the summertime, I drink a ton of water. My voice lasts. In the wintertime, I drink coffee and beer. Is that healthy? No. Is it something that I do? Yes. Absolutely. The problem is your so-called right is not without fault in the destruction of the family. The amount of horror stories I've heard from both sides. Yeah, no, absolutely. Dude, you're 1,000% right, Mario Trio. Because they don't give a flying fuck about the kids and just control. Absolutely. Of course. The Nanjing Massacre? No, not the Nanjing Massacre. Mike has bad knees. It's it's the Japanese unit. Is it Unit 771 or Japan? Give me look it up really quick. Japan WW2 Unit 731. 731. Yeah. Look up the Unit 731 from World War II. Yeah. Wendigoon, if you know who Wendigoon is, has a fantastic video about it. There are some other people who also have good videos about it. And by the way, when I say good videos about it, you genuinely don't know how horrible a human being can be, and then you hear stories about Unit 731. And all of this is verified. I don't know if it's ever been confirmed that they were doing this with the authorization of the emperor or even the authorization of the military, or even if the military knew that they were doing this. It doesn't matter. I don't remember. Unit 731 from Japan. I don't know if there are other countries today, whether it's like Iran or I don't know, who do people not like right now, that are doing what they did. That was another level of inhuman behavior. Like, to the point of even I would say demonic behavior. And if you are not familiar with Unit 731 from Japan, not for the faint of heart. Not for the faint of heart. Trying to be like, we will rule East Asia. Japan be like, come on, America, just give me a little rope, right? Iran is getting close. No. No, I'm sorry, Iran is not getting close to Unit 731. Iran is eliminating people, and they're looking to Unit 731. If you already have, they kept people alive and did things to them. Iran's not doing that. They're just killing them. That is merciful compared to what Unit 731 did. I'm sorry. I wholeheartedly disagree with you. Iran is not half as evil as Japan's Unit 731 from World War II. It's just not. It's just not. No, there's not even an inkling of reporting that they're doing a tenth of the things that Unit 731 did. The reason that we know that 70% of the human body is water is because of Unit 731. The reason that we know the freezing point of a human arm and how frozen a human arm has to be before you can smack it with a billy club and the arm just shatters and blood doesn't come out is because of Unit 731. Yeah, Jonathan Grant, everyone involved with 731 got away with it too. Absolutely horrifying. I'm sorry. Iran's not even close. Oh, but they're genociding people. That's a merciful death compared to what 731 did, dude. It will, if you've not looked into it. Ugh. Another example of Fauci and the Beagles. Yeah, but imagine the Beagles being actual people. The Beagles was bad. Imagine them doing that to actual people. It's bad. It's bad. I didn't want to end this on a sad note, but all of that being said, guys, I'm going to go rest the voice, go to the bathroom, chill for a second. I'm cold. So I'm going to go sit in the hot water. A good point. Wait, whoa. Mario Trujillo complimented me. Fuck. I got to turn the stream off. I got to turn it off. He complimented me. He did it. I got to go. Song, hurry up, play song. Mario Trujillo complimented me. If I don't end it now, he's gonna take his compliment back. Ladies and gentlemen, he said a good thing about me. He said good point. Wait, did he say that to me? God bless. God bless Mario Trujillo. I will be back on Thursday to try to catch up with some of the stuff that I did not get through tonight. I am trying. I need more time to stream. I also need more resolve. My resolve is low and weak. Bye. Have a good night, Jonathan Grant. It's good to see everybody here. You guys were a blast tonight. Some of the things you guys said, funnier shit. The fact that this went from a Jeff Keighley thing to a Bethesda conversation was hilarious. Wait till Thursdays, right? Thanks for the stream. You thank my crochet project for my lack of sass this year. You're totally fine. What are you crocheting? Jane Schultz? It's always interesting to me the things that like people who are into crocheting, like what they can make. I'm like, wait, really? You did that? It's wild. That is just a talent I don't. My grandmother used to sit there. Oh, mittens. Oh, that's cool. My grandmother just would crochet and knitting, and my brain wouldn't wrap around it, and I would watch her. I just sit there and just watch her hands, and I'm just, how do you do that? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning in to A Drink with Crazy, and until Thursday, cheers, everybody.